We are just super excited this afternoon to have a new artist in our studios, Cuco, who has a new album coming out July 26th and is playing to a sold-out crowd. Cuco, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Really appreciate it. It's awfully nice of you to come in.
Yeah, no,
You've already sold all the tickets, and you're still in here talking to us anyway.
I know, it's crazy, huh? It's hot, dude.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the great Midwest. We get the heat and the humidity. It's sort of a bonus, right?
Kind of sucks.
You know, I'd like to say that you get used to it, but really you don't.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm used to like the dry Cali weather.
Yeah,
It's pretty all right. It still gets super hot, but like I don't know. I feel like everywhere we're going right now just gets more and more like unbearable.
So you're gonna have to help me out with the pronunciation of the new album.
The album's called Para Mí.
Okay,
Like for me.
it's and it's coming out on Interscope. Your story is so amazing. Millions of plays on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify. You've got an army of people who just love you. My understanding is they refer to themselves as Cuco Pebbles. Is that right?
There was a group chat that existed called I don't know if like I haven't seen them be active, but yeah, it was a group chat called Cuco Pebbles, and then like
It's a great name.
I know it's creative.
Yeah.
Because I had changed my Instagram name at some point, I think, to like Cuco Puffs. I forgot which one came first, but.
So you're actually originally from Brian Wilson's hometown, Hawthorne, California.
Yeah, shout out Hawthorne, shout out 90250.
And your parents actually immigrated to this country from Mexico, and it seems like their story has been so important to you.
Yeah, I know for sure, dude. It's it's the immigrant story, and like they came here pursuing their own thing. Obviously, had me and wanted the best for me. But I was able to do that for them too, and now they don't have to worry about anything. They're chilling.
Yeah, that's really nice to be able to take care of your folks like that.
Really.
So you've had the name Cuco for a long time. My understanding is you might have gotten that name when you decided to try running before you could walk.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was also like when my uncle told me. He was like, yeah, like sometimes you just like try to run and like you just boom, you just hear like the walls. But my mom just said I was like crazy too, just because like I was always doing something. I was dancing or like she would say I was cuckoo. I was like dancing or like singing or like doing something weird, and then my grandparents just called me El Cuco.
So a lot of people have talked about the fact that in your songs you slide back and forth from Spanish to English but that's kind of your life. Your folks spoke Spanish at home.
Yeah, it was my first language actually, and then so I learned how to talk Spanish first, and then English. Then I got better talking Spanish whenever I would argue with my parents. Cause I don't know. I feel like when you're arguing with your parent, like you're arguing, like you just really good at talking Spanish.
Well, so that was actually kind of leads into my next question: is one language better than the other for certain parts of songwriting?
I definitely like think that Spanish is way more romantic. Yeah, there's a lot more to express when you're talking in Spanish.
There's been so much said about you in terms of trying to label you and put genre on you, and I think that's it's a terrible thing to do to an artist for starters.
Yeah.
And I think that as you continue your career, you're going to work really hard to defy any label that anybody puts on you. But so much of what you've done has gotten the word romanticism tagged on it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best, like the closest way to describe it, just because like I don't know. I mean, I make music. The music is what it is. Sometimes pretty psychedelic, sometimes trappy, sometimes it's super indie. So I don't know. It's cute.
So your folks, they worked really hard, right? Mom's cleaning houses, and you sort of picked up the business side from her. Dad, has been driving limos and things like that.
He's a photographer too.
But he's also a photographer, and you've cited that as being sort of a a source for creativity.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was a second photographer for a minute. I used to just be an assistant when I was like a kid, and then like he started teaching me how to like shoot like photos and all that stuff, and like how to like. So I've been like I've learned how to use like cameras pretty well since I was like a kid. Like he would like develop film and all that, and then like using like digital cameras, like focusing on like getting shutter speed down, all that stuff. It's weird, like it's just kind of like I know it, but like it's not my career. So, but it's just kind of like that knowledge that kind of sits in the back of my head.
It's nice to have that.
Yeah.
So you grew up with a lot of different kinds of music, everything from traditional Mexican music to opera and everything in between.
Yeah. My dad like listens to a lot of stuff like that, but I also just put myself onto like so much music because I don't know, I like finding like the right music. I don't know the right song for like everything I'm feeling. So I have like a really crazy ass library. Oh, I don't know if I could say.
Crazy ass is fine.
Yeah, crazy. I have a crazy ass library. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I like finding music that makes me feel like kind of nostalgic. Just I don't know. I want to make people feel that with my music, and I want to feel that when I listen to music.
So as important as music was to you, you still had problems selling your parents on the idea of you having a career in music.
Yeah, I just kind of had to like show them at some point, like when I played my first venue show, and like they saw how many people like showed up, and like it was a sold out show. Like my dad was just kind of like yo, like we never realized how big this is like actually getting, and I'm like,
yeah. So, but you, I guess in a way, you sort of entertained them by signing up for college. But signing up and actually going to classes are two different things.
Yeah, I would go for the most part when I first started, but then I started like ditching, and then more and more just like stopped going, and then I started actually taking meetings with like labels and stuff like that. The first like people to reach out to me were was the homie Brad from Nice Life. Those are like the people those are the homies, and like that to me was like crazy because I remember like I was just like, damn, I gotta be in a class right now, and then I was just sitting there, and then like he was just telling me like, nah, I believe in you, like you're good.
So there's a story that's out there, and I wanted to see like if it was true, and if it was true, how often it happened. But you would tell your parents that you were going to class, and you'd drive away, and you'd get about halfway there, and you'd pull the car over and make music in your car.
Yeah. That's like I would do that a lot. That or I would start like once I started making money, like on Thursdays, sometimes I would like pull over and then wait for like the Supreme drops to drop online, and then I would just order something. And then I would just go like park and then make beats. Sometimes I would even like I would even like I would be like 40 minutes late to class, and like I'd just be like, damn, like I'm already here, like I'm not gonna drive back. So I would just sit there and like make beats and then wait for like my friend to come out of class, and then we just kick it and then like just be bums.
You actually started playing guitar when you were like 8 years old.
Yeah, I started I did it because I was listening to Queen, and I was just like, yeah, I want to learn how to play that.
And it had a couple of lessons, but largely self-taught.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, I had a couple like months of like lessons, and then like after that, just like literally taught myself how to play like all the other stuff I like metal music. And
yeah, and that's the thing. You didn't just teach yourself how to play one thing. You sort of looked at a lot of different kinds of music.
Yeah, it was like different like phases of like what I liked, and then like jazz guitar too.
So then you get into middle school and you added keys, drums, bass, and then in high school you joined the band and learned how to do horns.
Yeah, there's I know System Blue is out here in Kansas City. I want to get a trumpet, but I don't know if like I could actually go and like get one from there because I don't think it's a store. But I'm gonna hit him up, be like, yo,
yeah,
hook it up.
So about the time you got to be a junior in high school, all of a sudden you took all the stuff that you'd been doing and you got pretty serious about it. And You know, they
I would have said I got serious because I didn't think I was gonna go anywhere. But yeah, I just want to produce.
so maybe not serious, but you were pretty relentless.
Yeah.
So it's like constantly in your room.
Yeah, I was just like I was super like dedicated. Like I was like they were just like it's like my teachers. Some of them were like, "Yo, just stop playing music and like focus on school." And then like I don't know. I mean, obviously as a teenager, you're gonna like do exactly the opposite. So I was like, nah, like I'm gonna just make more music.
So, you know, the place that, and I'm sure that it was fast, but also gradual in a way, because you went from doing this stuff as a really solitary pursuit. You were kind of a loner at that point, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like you're putting stuff online and you're doing backyard shows. So, how was that transition for you? What were the steps along the way? How did you end up getting a band to play out with you on the stuff that you done?
Oh, it was easy, dude. Like this was just the homies. Like it was like probably like when I was graduating high school. Like no, it was like my first year of college. Like I had just like turned 18, and like I was just like you know, like I'm not necessarily like obligated to be home, so like. I was just like, dude, like, let's do whatever. Like, let's play shows. And then my first show, my homie Akram, or now he's DJ Nani. He DJ'd my first show. And then Julian and Gabriel came up to me and were like, yo, if you need a band, we got you. And then, like, it just went from there and, like, played backyard shows for, like, literally, we played backyard shows from October 2016 to March 2017. And then, like, right after that, we just start playing venues and like so it was super quick. Like,
yeah,
it was crazy.
So Doris Munoz, she got wind of you, and she came to one of your shows, and I guess she wept at your show.
I think that's how the story goes. I'm not sure. Yeah. She'd probably be able to tell you. I think she did cry. Yeah. I think she was like.
And part of it was the performance, and part of it was just.
Seeing like a bunch of kids like at a backyard show freaking out, yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it was cool. It was cool. Like
yeah,
cool weird. Like it was, but it was just like you didn't see that at, like backyard shows.
Yeah, just the accomplishment of it and the community of it. So she had to convince you to let her be your manager.
A little bit, yeah. I was just like I was just more of always like do things by myself. But yeah, like once you realize like you can bring a team and like. That you could find like really good people that care about you, then it's just like it all plays out.
So you know you went in like record time from playing these backyard shows to playing Coachella and Lollapalooza and South by Southwest.
South by Southwest is lit. Yeah. Coachella was tight. I actually got to like enjoy it this year and like not work and then like have to tour it. You know, like I just got to go. Adidas was cool enough to have me, and I did some things with Adidas, and then I got to enjoy Coachella and like got to see Impala. And then last year I saw like Beyonce. The year I played, I had to catch that set. It was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all this time that you're growing, record labels start coming along. And my impression is that you just kept saying no and going back and recording music in your bedroom. Yeah. Most people just grab that first thing.
Yeah, no, you don't do that. Hey, for real, like you don't do that. Like you gotta be persistent and like just make it clear. Not even that. You just gotta find like same stuff. Like you gotta find like the people that are gonna come through for you. And you know, Carlos and the whole Interscope building came through and they were like, yo, like we believe in it and you know, here's our offer and I was like stoked about it. Worked out. Like it was doing really fun and like it's an experience. It's interesting. Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah.
So the record that's coming out on the 26th, was it already done when you signed with Interscope, or
no.
Did you use Interscope resources? Did you go into, you know, a more proper studio and?
Well, most songs were recorded kind of like at home. There was like some studio moments that I had with Jonathan Rado from Foxygen. I think that's how most people know him.
Yeah.
But he's a really like insane producer. Like he's like great, dude. Like he's like one of the like I there's very few times I've had like where I'm like, yo, like I really enjoyed the studio session. Like, dude, like I think I'm actually gonna work on the next album with him because it's like it was just super easy to work, super fun. Like the studio felt like homey, like a bunch of tape machines, like old synths and all that stuff, and it was like super fun. And yeah, and then Lars Stolfers mixed my album, and I was geeking out actually because Lars was like, he also like mixed like a bunch of like the Mars Volta albums, and like he even played for a bit. It's sick.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, I don't mean to bring up sort of a recent difficulty, but it does kind of tie into one of the songs from your record. Last October, you had a bad van accident, tour van, rolled the van, and all 10 people luckily got out okay. But then you're standing by the side of the road and the semi hits the van and the van hits you. So, you know, you think you're safe and then you're not.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. It was like real life, like hell on earth. Like it was crazy, dude. It was like the worst thing I've ever like experienced. Like I don't wish that on anybody, but I mean we're here, dude. Like alive and it's
13 screws and a metal rod, and you're like, you okay?
Yeah, it hurts, but I'm good. I just built a board and like we started skating. Like I had like my first like kind of like full day of like just skating and like getting back on the board again. It hurts, but like it's like fun. Like my drummer was like, yo, like he's like your body kind of like looks like it's in pain, but like your face just like shows excitement. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people in the band, but nobody died.
No,
it was a great thing.
Yeah, thankfully everybody's there.
So I mentioned the fact that it tied into a song. One of the songs on the new record is Hydrocodone.
Yeah.
Which is what you were on.
I hated it. I don't like Narcos.
And you were kind of still coming down from that when you finished writing this song you'd been working on for a couple of years.
I had kind of finished writing it, but then like I kind of like pieced a bunch of things together and like tried it out. Like it worked and like it sounded sick, and then I was just like super in my feelings. And then yeah, I recorded it pretty quick, and then like kind of just had that idea drafted. Like it was like a demo, but then it ended up being the final.
You know, the funny thing is that lyrically it seems to be about a breakup, but visually it's kind of about the accident in a way because, you know, they've got you in a full body cast.
Yeah. Yeah, that video came out super sick. It was really crazy to film.
And you kind of attended your own funeral.
Yeah, that was the idea of it.
But everybody was happy.
Yeah. It was like just the imagery of it was like, yeah, it's kind of dark.
You know, it's funny because people can always say, well, you know, we want this to be a celebration of life. But, you know, there's usually crying involved, you know, and this one looked particularly joyful.
Yeah, it was cool though. I mean, it was fun. Like it was, I think that's what most like Dia de los Muertos is too, though. You know, like for Mexicans, and it's like Day of the Dead. It's
yes,
like a celebration of life. You know, like you remember the past ones.
So on top of everything else, you're also working on a clothing line.
Yeah, Fantasies, Easy Living, from with my bona fides. I actually have to. You just reminded me I have to reply to him.
Well, that's what we're here for. You know, I've been to your website, and most of your merch is sold out.
Yeah,
it does pretty well.
Yeah, people like merch.
Yeah,
and we don't do a lot of it. So like, I'm hoping with like Fantasy, it'll be more consistent drops and like more accessible, and more quantity, so people can just like have cool pieces. And then yeah, I don't know. I like fashion a lot.
Yeah,
I'm into like clothing, like really heavy. And like I want to start off like something like kind of light with Fantasy, but then like develop into something like way bigger.
So, you know, we don't even have the full first album yet, but everybody's already talking about what's coming next for you. And, you know, you've already mentioned metal, and, you know, you played around a little bit with rap and jazz and R&B. Do you have a plan moving forward past this?
Yeah, I'm already working on the next album. It's like super. It's way more out there than this one. It's like more traditional styles. I feel I'm really making what I like. I've always made what I wanted to make, but I feel like I'm like figuring out like a bunch of things that like a bunch of like I'm figuring out how to like get the sound that I wanted, and then just like still messing around with a bunch of different styles. I don't know. It's like I'm already working on the next album, and it's just like super like weird. And then it's been in the works, but like I'm still like developing the idea of it. But I'm working on a metal album too, like just because like that's like one of my favorite genres to play. So I have like a bunch of demos just like drafted.
You know, it's so fun to see somebody having success. And I love a quote that I pulled from one of your earlier interviews. You were talking about how fast it was going, and you said, I didn't even have time to become a diva.
I don't know. I kind of am a diva sometimes, but just because like I'm like lazy, but because I could like have like people do stuff for me. But other than that, like I'm never like I've never seen like I've never like related to the idea of like just being like exclusive to like yourself, like and like being like extra selfish and like extra like I don't know. Like I like meeting people. I like hanging out. I like giving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
well, and you know, just the idea that so much of this success, you know, you just keep referencing the ability to help your parents, which is just so admirable, so great, and it's so exciting that we're getting this new record, and you've got a sold-out show tonight at the Madrid. And
I know, it's hella exciting, dude.
yeah,
I appreciate that.
We're very, very grateful that you took the time to come in today.
No, yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.